I can't even say this without laughing. Adapting an LGB plus inclusive teen pregnancy prevention program for transgender boys. I can't even say this without laughing. Do you think that that is a useful form of our tax spend?
I am not familiar with that grant, but I think bench research, government investment in scientific and
Teen
pharmaceutical
pregnancy
research.
for transgender boys. Do you think that that is a useful spend of our tax dollars?
I think government.
Before she even answer it, because I don't even want to, I already know she's not going to give a straightforward answer, because whenever they have these conversations, they never really give straightforward answers. I do want to say this. When we look at our world, it's important that we understand, at least here in America, these type of conversations are happening because we don't fear God. We don't honor his word. We have opened ourselves up to so much perversion. Let's just call it what it is. There's so much perversion that we've opened up ourselves to as a nation, not just a nation, as a nation, and then also we've also exposed children, the ones who we're supposed to protect, the ones we're supposed to nurture, we're supposed to, train them up. The Bible talks about training them up in the fear and instruction of the Lord. And even that's like a spiritual side, right? Train them up in, in reverence, not to necessarily fear God, like, oh my God, but more like God is sacred. You don't play with God. You don't play with, you don't, like, it's not a show. It's not comedy. It's not entertainment. God is to be reverenced, right? That's what it's talking about when it used the word fear. So train the children up in reverence and in instruction, the ways of the Lord, how we worship, how we serve, how we love, how we forgive, fundamental things about God, right? And that's the spiritual side. But the practical side is you raise children up to be good citizens, to understand how life moves forward. Like, as a boy, you're a boy, and as a girl, you're a girl. You grow up to marry a woman, or as a young lady, you grow up to marry a man, you have a family, and so on and so on. You work a job, you pay taxes, you don't steal, you don't, as my mom said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like, you train children up practically. In our society, in our culture, we are like doing our best to pervert children. It's the most disgusting thing. I just did a video last week about this father who now identifies as a woman, is calling himself a trans mom, and was charged with federal kidnapping, trying to take his child to get a gender reassignment I think it was in Cuba. And the child is like 9 or 10 years old, and of course now the father and his partner are, got arrested and they're locked up, and I think they should keep them locked up. But imagine the amount of trauma that's been brought on that child for their, him to do that to her. Not only is he already confusing because he's supposed to be the father, but he's transitioned into trying to be a woman. But now he's also he's confusing the child to think that they're not who they're supposed to be. And it's just sad. So this question, to me, is not a matter of it's not a matter of whether we know, boys can't get pregnant. Teen pregnancy for boys transitioning to be girls. We know that's not even possible. But it's a reflection of society, the society that we as adults have cultivated, or the word they use now for everything, if you're going out, is curated. We've done this to children. We've created this environment for them, this confusion, to where this is even a question. And we've seen people go to Congress and have these kind of conversations about taxpayer dollars and if it's wise to use it in this way. And Ketanji Brown being asked, what is a woman? And, and them they actually don't know. They act like they don't know what a woman is all of a sudden. It's exhausting. let me let this finish, and then we'll finish our conversation.
An investment in all kinds of
Hold on.
scientific
Let me
research.
back up a little bit.
Investment in scientific.
Useful form of our tax spend?
I am not familiar with that grant, but I think bench research, government investment in scientific and
Teen
pharmaceutical
pregnancy
research.
for transgender boys. Do you think that that is a useful spend? of
And
our
they
tax
never
dollars?
answered the question.
I think government investment in all kinds of scientific research is of the utmost importance.
Including pregnancy prevention for transgender boys. Okay.
They never answer the question straight up. They always dodge it. It's common. It's like just, I'm telling you, being politically correct has poisoned people's minds. Like they've learned how to just be politically correct, because that way you don't actually have to be honest. You don't have to tell the truth. You don't have to be forthcoming. Like the question is, do you think that's a good a good use of taxpayer dollars? Her response was, I've never heard of that grant. I'm not familiar with that grant. But I think, investment in all types of sciences, all type of scientific research. You see how she just dodged, just deflecting. It's political correctness, being politically correct at its best. But I look at it as a form of just arrogance and outright ignorance and intellectual dishonesty, because she knows that she's avoiding the question. She knows she's deflecting. She knows that she's not answering it and being forthcoming. But hey, this is America. This is what people are allowed to do, to get up in front of Congress, in front of these platforms, and literally gaslight all of us. And I'm sure, I can't say, for 100% sure, but there's probably some funding that's going to be going towards that. And it's just what we have to deal with. And that's why I do my best to be upfront about, the conversations that we have here on this channel. That's what this brand is all about, knowing there's hope, even in the face of ignorance and lies, deception and perversion, in the face of political correctness that's avoiding truth. We have hope because we already know God's design, and it can't be overturned. No matter how much they try to experiment, no matter how much they try to rebel against God and point their fists up at God and with all this nonsense, it's not going to work. You can't undo God's work. The Bible says God's truth endures for all generations. You're not going to be able to undo it. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Don't forget to connect with the brand, www.thereshopebrand.com. Grab some merch. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's get the conversation popping in the comment section, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.